I'm Shivani Singh. Today, Bangladesh woke up to a silence that feels heavier than usual. At 6 a.m. this morning, at Dhaka's Evercare Hospital, the heartbeat of the Bangladesh Nationalist Party, or the BNP, finally stopped. Begum Khaleda Zia, the two-term Prime Minister and the first woman to lead the country, passed away at the age of 80. For nearly half a century, the politics of this nation revolved around two women. They were known as the Battling Begums. With the passing of Khaleda Zia, that decades-long duel has reached its final somber conclusion. As the interim government declares 3 days of national mourning, we look back at the life of a woman who was dragged into politics by tragedy but stayed there out of sheer iron-willed defiance. Her journey didn't begin in a parliament, but in a quiet household in Dinajpur. Born in 1945 in Jalpaiguri, yes, in what is now India, she was affectionately called Putul or doll. In 1960, she married a charismatic army officer named Zia-ur-Rahman. For years, Khaleda was the perfect military wife, standing in the shadows as her husband became a war hero and eventually the president of a young Bangladesh. Born on May 30th, 1981, that world shattered. Zia-ur-Rahman was assassinated in a military coup. At 35, Khaleda Zia was a widow with two young sons, Tariq and Arafat. Most expected her to retire into a life of quiet grief. Instead, senior BNP leaders, fearing the party's collapse, appealed to her. The housewife became the chairperson. The doll became the Iron Lady. Her defining moment came in the 1980s. Bangladesh was under the thumb of military dictator Hussain Muhammad Irshad. Khaleda Zia did something no one expected. She took to the streets. She was arrested repeatedly, but she refused to compromise. This earned her the title Aposhin Netri, the uncompromising leader. In 1991, in the country's first free and fair elections, she pulled off a political miracle, defeating the Awami League and becoming the first female Prime Minister of Bangladesh. She wasn't just a leader, she was also a style icon. Those oversized sunglasses and her perfectly manicured eyebrows became a symbol of her shield, a way to remain inscrutable while standing in front of millions. Supporters called her the mother of democracy, a title so potent that a movie was even launched to capture her struggle. We cannot, however, talk about Khaleda without talking about her rival, Sheikh Hasina. In 1990s, they were allies, standing hand in hand to topple a dictator. But once democracy returned, the friendship turned into one of the most bitter personal and political rivalries in modern history. For 30 years, they traded power like a chess match. If one was in the Prime Minister's office, the other was on the streets leading a strike. They stopped speaking. They stopped acknowledging each other's existence. Ironically, today it was Sheikh Hasina, currently in exile in India, who sent one of the first messages of condolence. Hasina called her death an irreparable loss, recalling their joint struggle for democracy. It took the death of one for the other to finally break the silence of decades. Now let's talk about the India factor. Khaleda Zia's relationship with New Delhi was complicated. Despite being born in Jalpaiguri, West Bengal, her politics was rooted in a brand of anti-India Bengali nationalism. During her 2001 to 2006 term, ties with India hit rock bottom. New Delhi accused her government of harboring Northeast Indian insurgents and allowing Pakistan's ISIS to use the Bangladeshi soil. Yet she was a pragmatist. She knew that a landlocked Bangladesh couldn't ignore its giant neighbor. She visited India in 2006 and again as an opposition leader in 2012, trying to mend those fences. While New Delhi always felt more comfortable with Hasina, they respected Zia as a towering representative of a significant portion of the Bangladeshi population. Even today, Prime Minister Narendra Modi noted her important contributions to the development of India-Bangladesh relations. The last decade of her life was one of immense suffering. Convicted in corruption cases she claimed were political vendettas, she spent years in prison and later under house arrest. Her health failed her, liver cirrhosis, heart issues and diabetes, but she lived long enough to see the tide turn. After the 2024 uprising that ousted Hasina, Zia was pardoned, and just 5 days ago, her son and political heir, Tariq Rahman, returned from 17 years of exile to be by her side. Today, her family tree stands at a crossroads. Her younger son, Arafat, is gone. Her husband is a martyr of the state. It is now up to Tariq to lead the BNP into the 2026 elections. Khaleda Zia will be laid to rest at Zia Udyan beside the husband whose death first forced her into the light. She was a housewife who became a hero, a prisoner who became a PM, and a leader who never, ever backed down. Whether you agreed with her politics or not, you cannot deny that she was the pulse of Bangladesh for 40 years. The battle of the Begums, however, is now over. The mother of democracy is at peace. Thank you for watching.
For more such videos, subscribe to the Newsx YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.